Imagine being murdered inside your own home. Police search for your killer. Years pass, then decades. The case grows cold. Witnesses disappear. Memories fade. And everyone begins to believe the killer got away with murder. But what if the evidence was sitting there the entire time, waiting for technology to catch up? This is the shocking story of Nancy Smith, a murder mystery that remained unsolved for nearly 25 years until a single strand of hair finally revealed the truth. December 2001, New Windsor, New York. 32-year-old Nancy Smith was living what appeared to be a normal life. She worked at Horton Hospital and was known by friends and family as a caring and dependable person. Then suddenly, something seemed wrong. Nancy failed to show up for work. Family members couldn't reach her. Phone calls went unanswered. As concern grew, relatives decided to check on her at her home. What they discovered was horrifying. Nancy Smith had been brutally murdered. She'd been stabbed multiple times. The crime scene shocked investigators. Who would want to kill Nancy, and why? Police immediately launched a major investigation. Detectives interviewed friends, family members, co-workers, anyone who might have known something. But despite their efforts, the killer remained invisible. Days became weeks, weeks became months, months became years, and eventually the case went cold. For nearly 25 years, Nancy's family lived without answers. They didn't know who had taken her life. They didn't know why it happened. And they didn't know if justice would ever come. It seemed as though the murderer had vanished forever, but investigators never completely gave up. Hidden among the evidence collected from the crime scene was something extremely small, something most people would never notice: a single strand of hair. At the time of the murder, DNA technology simply wasn't advanced enough to provide the answers detectives desperately needed, so the evidence sat untouched for years, waiting. Then everything changed. In 2023, investigators decided to re-examine the evidence using modern DNA technology. The results were promising. For the first time, detectives believed they might finally identify the killer. A year later, a breakthrough arrived. The DNA pointed investigators toward a man named Robert Young. Young had known Nancy through the local music community years earlier. As investigators dug deeper, the evidence continued to point in the same direction. In February 2024, FBI agents and detectives interviewed Young in South Carolina. During the investigation, authorities obtained additional DNA samples for comparison. The case that had baffled investigators for nearly a quarter century was finally coming together. But then another twist emerged. Robert Young denied any involvement. And before authorities could bring charges, he died. Despite his death, investigators continued analyzing the evidence. Finally, in May 2026, authorities announced what many thought would never happen. Nancy Smith's murder had officially been solved. According to investigators, DNA evidence identified Robert Young as the person responsible for her death. After nearly 25 years, the mystery was over. But one major question remains unanswered. Why? Because Young died before facing trial, investigators may never know his true motive. Why did he kill Nancy Smith? What happened inside that house on that December day in 2001? Those answers may have died with him. Yet for Nancy's family, one thing is certain. After decades of uncertainty, they finally know who was responsible. And sometimes, even after 25 years, the truth still finds a way to come out. What do you think? Should a case be considered fully solved if the suspect dies before standing trial? Or are there still unanswered questions in the Nancy Smith murder? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy cold cases, unsolved mysteries, and true crime stories that were finally solved years later, subscribe for more.